All right, our friend Bob Price is here, and he brought a very special guest who's a little nervous because there are thousands upon thousands of people listening to every word she says, and there's a bunch more watching her right now.
Just in the thousands, or is it actually in the millions now?
It's probably closer to millions, but we don't. I didn't want to make her any more nervous than she already is. I will say this though, her fingernails are fantastic.
Oh, let's see. Oh, they
Full
are.
of glitter.
They're very nice.
A little shaky though for some reason.
Yeah.
Are they?
I would not let you do surgery on me right now. I'm going to say that right now. Get really close to that microphone. There you go. Bob, tell us about Magda.
Well, Magda, you just reminded me of your last name, but
Yes, my last name Bogacz.
Bogacz.
Yes.
Magda is not only scary smart, but she has a fascinating personal story, and I just thought it would be interesting to bring her on. We've talked about immigration before.
Yes, correct.
Magda will tell you the story, but we hear so much about immigration policy and path to citizenship, and a lot of immigrants, especially immigrants from Mexico and Central America, people have opinions about them, to say the least, and there's I think a lot of people perceive them as being sort of lazy, hangers-on, whatever. There's that whole
Like
that
Magda.
whole storyline.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Magda, yeah, hanger on,
at
just.
She looks a little shiftless.
But tell us your story. You're from
Yeah.
Krakow, Poland.
Yes, I'm from Poland. I was born and raised in Poland. I lived there for 18 years, almost 19. I moved here after I graduated high school. I went to medical high school, and I was preparing to be a surgeon, actually. So I did my entire pre-med before I was even 18. And I knew there's no future for me in Poland, or in any country from the Eastern Bloc, as a matter of fact. There are no opportunities. Women have no rights whatsoever. We fight every day to be heard and to be noticed. No matter what we have to offer, it's just never enough because we're women. There is a huge problem of politics, and there's no separation between church and state, so we have church governing the country. There's no freedom of religion or speech, as a matter of fact. So there's really nothing to do there for people that want to do great things, and where there's no room for growth, there's no room for happiness.
We think of like when the wall came down in 1989 and Lech Wałęsa.
Yeah, we think that.
And freedom. It's great now to be in Poland, but
People think that since, especially communism collapsed in Poland in 1989. So that's only like 20, 30 years.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
almost my entire lifetime where we are free and we are a democratic country, but we are so corrupted. So corrupted. We are still a communistic country, to be honest.
But the church has sort of replaced
Yes.
Gorbachev or whatever.
Yes, the church is what governs the country, and if you're not a Roman Catholic, I mean, you have to be. There's no other option. You have to be raised as a Roman Catholic. You have to go to school as a Roman Catholic, and if you're not that, well, then the real problem starts. And because I didn't know what I was, I had a really, really hard time in Poland. I have to say I've been persecuted probably for majority of my life for not necessarily being with one particular religion. But not even that. I think with what I really wanted to do in my life, which is neuroscience and which is what I'm going for school now, we don't have that in Poland. We don't have any job opportunities. We don't have this even at the universities levels, as a major, as something that you could be doing. There's no neuroscience. And even if there is some springing here and there, it's just so little. And yeah, not
How
enough.
in the world you went all the way through enough school to get your pre-med finished
Yeah.
as a teenager?
Yes.
Now, when you're going through all that extremely difficult course of study, you must have had some hope that you were going to go somewhere else or things were going to get better.
Oh.
Otherwise, you wasted all those years.
I think I had a big sense of being born in the wrong place since I remember. I never fit in, and I felt there must be something better outside of Poland and outside of Europe.
So you had a family friend in Bakersfield.
Yes, I actually still have my family. Yes, my family friends are here in Bakersfield, and but I think the sense of wanting to escape and looking for a better life was my father. My father gave this to me. He, when Poland was still in communism, he actually moved to New York in the 80s. And he lived in New York for several years making money. And he brought all of this with him to Poland to help our family to survive. And when I was growing up, he was telling me all of those stories about New York and about America and how great it was. And
So he planted that seed. in you.
yes, and me growing up listening to all of it, I just knew I have to be here. I knew I have to be here, and I knew that great things are happening here. So as soon as I reached 18, I graduated high school and I moved here. Yeah.
So you're here on a student visa.
Yes,
Which,
that's
of
right.
course, has an end point.
Of course, yes, of course. I'm here only temporary. Visa expires. As soon as visa expires, I need to go back to Poland. There's nothing I can do to stay. I cannot undertake work. As a matter of fact, I cannot work even now. I'm paying international tuition, which is, we talk about 30, 40, 50,000 a year for Cal State Bakersfield. Comparing to 2,000, for a regular student. And I do the same work. I do the exact same work.
How do we, in an era where we're bringing in medical students from all over the world on these, H-1 visas or whatever it is?
It's actually, I'm on F1 right now.
Well, why can how come we can't get you another medical student visa like we do people from all over the world?
That's my question.
I tell you what, let's find out on the other side. We got to take a break. We'll be back and find out more with Magda and Bob and Magda. Right after this, it's the First Look program. It's News Talk 1180 and the new 96.1 KERN.
Talking to Magda earlier, she admitted to me things about America that she does not like. She likes almost everything, and loves a lot of it.
Yes.
But country music is not high on your list. And I was telling her.
She hasn't listened to real country
Exactly.
music. You've been listening to Jason Aldean. You need to hear the real thing.
Yeah.
Real deal.
It's as with anything. I mean, there's good country music and there's bad country music and there's good classical music. Well, I don't know if there's bad.
Merle friggin' Haggard, baby. We'll hook you up. Lyle Lovett,
Yeah.
Sturgill Simpson. Well, don't worry about this. This I'm trained for.
She would have loved Desert Rose Band.
Oh, of course.
There's
We'll
a-
take care of you on this deal.
Yeah.
It's a big thing. Bob Price is here with Magda, who's if you want to hire a kid that's smarter than you are,
By a lot. By a
lot.
large. Differential.
it could be intimidating. I have to know though. Why did you almost punch me in the face when I mentioned Warsaw?
Warsaw, the capital city of Poland. Yes, I'm from Krakow. Krakow used to be a capital city of Poland, and
Right,
it was one of the first capitals.
Is that why you're bitter? Is that why you're bitter? Because it's not
She
the
seems
capital
pretty
anymore?
bitter.
That's why I'm better, not bitter. I don't know about bitter.
Oh!
That's why I'm better. And when they, in about 1500, they switched the capital. They transferred it to Warsaw, and since then, it's a holy war between Krakow and Warsaw, which city is the king of Poland. And we claim, of course, it's Krakow because that's the city of kings. All of the castles and all of the royalty back in the day used to live in Krakow, which you can still go and see all of the buildings, all of the amazing architecture. My city, actually, Krakow, it was established in 900. So yeah.
All of this happened. You're still here. You are in your 20s, and you're getting mad at a person about something that happened in the 1500s. You almost hit me because they changed
Exactly.
the capital in the 1500s.
That's right.
Okay, well, I'm sorry about the whole thing. I'm sorry, Magda. I'm sorry.
We've got this.
You get worked up about the American Indians, and that was a couple of hundred years
That's
ago.
only because you tell people they had it cut. They had extermination coming to them.
No, I never said that. Don't ever play that. I never said that.
Fine.
We've got this old bank building a couple blocks from here that we're all excited. We chipped away.
Have you been by lately and seen the new as they clean the stuff off the face?
I have, yeah. It looks pretty cool. But I mean, we're all excited because the thing dates back to 1912. We're like, oh, it's an old building, and here's Magda, who's come from a city that started in 900.
Yeah.
My niece lives in York, in England. I get to hear all the time about stuff that was built way before our country was even thought of.
Yeah.
But look what we got done in the 270 years since.
Exactly.
We've made some progress.
That's right.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're not so hot on country music.
Yes.
And then what was the other?
And the food. One thing that I really do not like, it's peanut butter.
Oh!
Peanut butter. I remember that was one of the very first months after I moved to America, to California, and one of my good friends made me a sandwich. How do you call it? A jelly peanut butter
peanut butter and
sandwich?
jelly sandwich.
You don't want to know what happened shortly after.
A jelly
But
peanut
I
butter sandwich.
curse the day I have tried peanut butter. Yes.
Seriously?
Seriously.
Have you tried it again since that first awful experience?
Just the smell.
Just the
Just
smell
the
gets you.
smell.
Yeah.
Yeah. Throws
Wow.
me.
Was it good peanut butter? Was it like extra crunchy Jif, or did you have some chump?
I would rather not go into details
All right.
of peanut butter. However,
talk about it later.
on the contrary, I think the Nutella is the way to go.
Oh, see, you're so wrong. Nutella
Nutella
is
is the way to
disgusting.
go.
That stuff is vile and disgusting, and you were wrong.
Well, it's European, so I'm with my nation.
Fine, I guess. So how does a kid, and you are still a kid,
Yes, correct.
how does a girl and growing up in Krakow develop an interest in neuroscience? How early on did you know that's what you wanted to do?
I think, and you're gonna laugh at me, but I think as soon as 5 years old.
You were
knew.
5, and you were thinking, I am interested
I wanted
in
the brain. Yeah, I knew I want to take care of the brain. I just didn't know how yet.
Right.
And how is that playing out so far? What type of jobs would you get into? What
Yeah.
job would you have as a neuroscience?
Well, I'm now majoring at Cal State Bakersfield in both psychology and philosophy, and I'm doing applied experience as my third kind of major, neuroscience. I'm working in a behavioral neuroscience lab with human subjects, and of course, after my bachelor's, I need to go to a grad school, and I think that's where I'm heading. All I want to do is research. I want to help mapping human brain, and I think that's my calling.
Now, how is there not somebody in America going, we have to do everything we can to keep this girl in this country? This hyper-educated, seriously intelligent girl who wants to make the world a better place.
Yeah.
It would make America a better place just by being here. How in the world that seems so automatic that there's just somebody somewhere that would just sign a piece of paper and you're in forever?
Yes, and you have no idea how many days and nights I cried my eyes out asking these questions, how many letters I have sent to the White House, to politicians, to the charity organizations, any places I could think of, to explain my situations, to say what I really want to do, and just to give me a chance.
Yeah.
You know, I'm asking about opportunity to work. I want to legally be able to work and
And
pay
how many
tax.
people are here working illegally that don't have anywhere near the drive or the skill set that you have?
Yeah.
That's
and-
the thing that's incredible.
Yeah, and those are the people that I'm jealous of because they have a much better life than I do, being here legally.
Wow.
So,
The first thing we need to do is we need to send a copy of this show to Kevin McCarthy right away. He's our congressman. He may be able to help. No, this people need to hear this story.
You know what's inspiring to me, Magna? We were talking earlier about your the joy that you feel being here, even with the sort of the legal constraints that you
Yes,
have.
yes.
You still find yourself saying, "Oh my gosh, I'm in America."
yes, that's what I was just telling Bob before we started. I'm far from reaching freedom in this country. I'm tied up with so much of immigration policy and law and problems with my status being on the student visa, no social security number, no insurance, no health benefits, no nothing. Nevertheless, with all of this, just the feel that America gives you, that the second I landed in LAX, 4 years ago, I still feel the same way. It's just, it's a breeze. It's a fresh, it's freedom.
Yeah.
You feel it. You
And
sense
so many
it.
and so many kids that are born here totally take that for granted. They don't care about that.
I
or
think
even-
we
they
all
don't
take it
think
for
that are-
granted. We
I
all
know
take it
I
for
do.
granted. Yeah.
It's a great place to be. We got to figure out a way for you to stay.
Yeah,
We're gonna get to work. We're gonna get to work on that. Although this Nutella thing, you need to drop that straight away. That stuff is nasty. Would you, if we can get you a visa so you can stay here and work, would you promise to never eat Nutella again?
Yes.
And would
yes,
you-
I promise.
Would you come in here regularly and eat peanut butter
I
sandwiches
would,
with me?
every day I would make a sandwich for everyone in this office with a peanut butter. You have me.
You have to eat one too, though.
You bought me in. I'm in it.
Okay.
I'm on it and in it.
See, that makes me want to do it right there. Just so I can watch her have to eat peanut butter every single day. Magna, seriously, you're an amazing kid, and I wish you all the best. And we'll anything we can do to help you. We're gonna do it.
Thank you so much.
You're very. I can't imagine being in that position with all. A buddy of mine married a girl from Scotland, and tried to go through the process of getting her in the country legally. They spent 5 years.
Yes.
They spent over $100,000 on attorneys and legal fees, and they never were able to get her
Yeah.
here legally.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
Why are there so many barriers to get people who would make this country a better place just by being here? Why do we have so many impediments to keeping those people here? And the message is clear: just come here illegally, and you can
Yeah.
make out literally like a bandit. the whole deck is stacked against people who want to do it legally. And that means that's why the rest of us got to do everything we can to help them do it. And we need to get Magda here permanently. If nothing else, just to make her eat peanut butter on a fairly routine basis. We will take a break, and we'll be back more with Bob Price and Dateline, and we got our Tiger, and there's still a bunch of stuff going on, so don't go anywhere. It's the First Look program. It's News Talk 1180, the new 96.1 KERN. That's right, we're on FM now. We're frequency modulated, Bob. That's why it sounds so darn good. And we're streaming on the internet at Bakersfield.com. Help us find Magda a job. We'll be right back. This stuff. I'm guessing. Hey, wait a minute. What if we put Magda in Hop's just out?
Great idea.
Right. That's a job right there.
Yeah.
And it's and they both have a background in neuroscience.
Right.
As-
I didn't know that about Hop. But
Do we?
See,
I didn't know that about me either.
that's the thing that is maddening about all this is, a lot of kids who take the freedom and the greatness of America for granted, who don't push themselves into anywhere near the heights that Magda has with her brilliant brain. They just don't have any reason to try any harder. But you have a girl here who's struggling to get out of the oppression of Poland and come here and where she can advance, neuroscience. Can we trade a Kardashian for her? Can't we just send somebody back in her place that clearly doesn't have any higher goals? This isn't your generic illegal alien person. She'd be better off if she was. If she just snuck into the country and got a fake ID and a Raider jersey and a leaf blower, she'd be good to go forever and ever.
Yeah.
Nobody would ever say boo.
Yeah.
But because she's trying to do it by the rules and do it legally and do it properly, the system is very much stacked against her.
Well, she's smart and she's highly motivated, and yet we were talking earlier about some of the job offers that you have had.
Yes, as a girl from an Eastern Europe. Usually what I'm being asked for to do are, different kinds of movies, porn movies mostly.
Get out of here.
Homemade and not only.
What?
Yes. Some calls even from magazines to take some pictures.
Because you're from Poland?
Yeah, because I'm from Eastern Europe and I look relatively okay.
How have they found you? How do they know that?
I don't know, but I had random people approaching me on the street. I've used to hang out with my friends in LA. For the weekends we used to take just some trips to the beach in Malibu or in Santa Monica just to be there because it's close to Bakersfield. Lots of people over there. I had businessmen offering me to stay in LA for free for months and months.
Wow.
Just serving them with my body.
Isn't
and
this a
whatnot.
great country?
It is a wonderful country.
Yeah, you're not going to
it
get
makes
those Don't get those offers in Poland. Okay, Hopper, you ready for news?
Sure. You okay?
I'm in my prime. Here's Michael Hopper in the First Look News Desk.
Thank you, Scott. Let's get to traffic.
Do you know they're already worried now that people are going to be, that the Apple Watch is going to cause more distracted driving than we already have? Never mind the go-along texting. Now they're worried about people driving along doing
Did you
this.
see the guy,
apparently.
the tech reporter, and I can't remember if he was working for CNN or whatever, and he was demonstrating the Apple Watch on a live broadcast. He was demonstrating and accidentally bought an Xbox One while he was demonstrating.
That is awesome.
Yeah,
I
it's like he ordered an Xbox One and is like, oh, okay, well,
I just hope it's legally binding.
Yeah.
Bob Price is here with an extra special guest. You know who we need to? We know some people in the medical community. Wouldn't you think they'd be the people lined up to give Magda a job?
I would think so. Yeah. Would you work in an office as sort of a
Absolutely.
whatever person?
Absolutely. I would love to have my hands on and actually do some experimentation on the human brain. But, in the meantime, any job is.
I don't know if I'd let that slip out in a job interview. I cannot wait to cut into somebody's skull and probe their brains.
I was intrigued by your suggestion that maybe she could do, Hop's job. How was your commute over here? How was the drive?
The drive? Pretty good.
Good. Okay.
Yeah.
And how do you find the weather to be today?
Fabulous. Every day is
See,
good.
she just did
They're
traffic
there.
and weather right there.
A
Boom.
lot faster and more succinct than the
Hop
professional.
Hop will be gone for 2 weeks in July. If you want to come back and do Hop's job, all you have to do is basically sit there and stare at your iPad for a while, and then every once in a while when somebody goes, hey, 10 minutes later, tell people about traffic and weather.
Can do that.
10 minutes later.
7 minutes, 7 to 10
You're
minutes,
trying
somewhere.
desperately to get rid of me. You'd be welcome here anytime.
There you, well, if you're going to be,
Thank you.
I just think it'd be interesting to have a girl from Poland with a sincere interest in neuroscience. And that's the part that's fascinating to me, is how many people do we have American kids right now graduating from university who have those goals, that have an interest in neuroscience? It can't be that big of a number.
Well, I don't know one of my friends who wants to do what I intend to do. So maybe that answers your questions. Not a lot of people have interest in hard science, for one.
Right.
Girls, barely any. Yeah, but it's an amazing thing. I cannot imagine doing anything else in my life than an actual research.
Now, how does that work? You said you went to a medical high school in
Yes,
Poland?
yes.
So in Poland, you have high schools that are...
That have profiles, and depending on what you intend to do at the university level, you choose the high school that correspond.
Now, you're kind of down on Poland, but that sounds actually kind of interesting.
Our educational system is not bad. I really cannot say much bad things about our education in Poland. It is on a very high level. And we do, I graduated high school speaking 4 languages fluently with calculus 3. You graduate high school with that. So, I mean, when I started Bakersfield College here years and years ago, the level of education struck me as odd at first. I felt like, well, that's a little bit, behind comparing to Europe. But then I understood why. I think here there is a bigger focus on working together, as a group, as a team. I think the focus is on a little bit different values than in Europe. And they say that America is a very individualistic culture, and that you guys are very egocentric, and there's so many misconceptions about this place. And it's so not true. So not true. I really think that the spirit of teamwork is here in America, and I think that's what's happening in schools and colleges and universities. We are encouraged to work together, to support each other, to cheer for each other, to push one another forward. That's not what you get in Europe. In Europe, everyone wants to, if not kill you, almost kill you, so they can steal what you have.
Yeah, to crawl over the top of you to get to the next rung.
Exactly. So I think that's why we're ahead with our education. We have just no other choice than to stay focused and to do it.
Now, how long do you have here before you get kicked out if you don't find a job or a gig or a
Actually,
visa?
a year. Actually, I graduate, and I have 30 days to pack my entire life in 2 suitcases and go back to Poland. 30 days.
And when you get back to Poland, knowing full well you have no future in the medical degree, the
Nothing.
medical field that you've chosen.
Poland, first and foremost, Poland is not going to recognize my diploma for here. So the bachelor's degree that I'm going to obtain in psychology and philosophy will mean nothing in Europe. Nothing.
That's just
Okay.
that is not going to happen.
And actually, just to clarify, a couple of years ago, I've been back over summer, and I was looking for like a summer job in Poland. And I applied for, in a bar or pub or as a waitress or whatnot, just a regular job for a teenager. They told me that I speak poor English in Poland, and that I'm not going to be able to get a job because obviously I need to speak
Because
good
your
English.
English needs to be better
They
to work
told-
in Poland.
Yes.
Wow.
And I'm coming with an already degree from Bakersfield College, speaking fluent English, and they tell me that I have to work on my English. That's how Poland works.
You speak English better than most American kids
Well,
do.
I wouldn't go that far, but thank you. That means a lot.
This is crazy. There's got to be a way to do something. We got to do something about this. Let's start off by taking a break. It's the American way.
Tweak says you need
right.
to marry a nice American boy. and
Yeah,
then
why don't you
can
marry
stay.
a nice American boy?
Actually, that's the only way that I could stay in this country is to get married.
Oh, the phones are lighting up all of a sudden. Look
Yeah,
at that.
suddenly we had 700 people on hold. Hey, if you want to marry Magda, 842 current's the phone number, 842-5376. Just say if it's a temporary fix, but it's a fix. We'll be right back. It's the First Look program. It's News Talk 1180 and the new 96.1 KERN. We are back. I was just showing Magda pictures of my son trying to close this deal. I'm telling you, that's a match made in heaven right there. He would love your accent.
Oh, my accent.
He would love it. And especially the fact that once you got through with your medical training, you could go on to a really good job in neurosurgery, which would afford him many, many fine guitars.
Yes.
See?
Yeah, let's support music.
See? Think about that. He
do
could
it.
buy a 59 Les Paul with the fat cash his wife was making, the neurosurgeon.
Oh, so I'm the family supporter.
Oh,
I'm the
absolutely.
sugar mama.
He's a musician. Of course you're going to be the sugar mama. Are you
Gotcha.
kidding me? You get involved with a musician? What do you think's going to happen? But he would love your backstory. Well, I'll see if I can put this together a bit later. Now, if you've got a company or whatnot, and if somebody just wants to hire Magda, if she's got an existing job, you could get a visa. Is that correct?
Yes, a work visa. Yes.
You could, if somebody offers you a job, you could take that job and say, "Hey, you need to give me a visa because I have a job."
Yes, exactly.
So what's the impediment to already having a job?
No one wants to hire me, or maybe just no one heard about me. And I'm here to be heard. You're
Those
the
sleazy
voice.
guys in L.A. can find you, but
Yes.
but you know,
If
Here you
somebody
go.
has a non-porn related job for
Please.
Magda,
Would
she
be
could
nice.
she could stay here in the country legally, and then after a while, once you put some roots down, who knows? Maybe we get you like a long-term work visa, and then maybe you apply for
green card.
a green card. Next thing you know, you get citizenship, and America has a new lady neurosurgeon. Think about that.
Neuroscientist. That's a
Is there-
difference.
What's the difference?
Neurology is a part of medicine, and neuroscience, it's a research, and it's a part of psychology. Neuroscience,
Oh,
it's
I
a-
see.
Yes.
So you're not going to cut people's skulls open. You're just going to figure out what the problem is to begin with.
Yes, I'm going to be figuring out what's the problem, what's the brain, what's the function,
do
what's
like
the damage.
electrodes?
Yes, I'm working on EEG equipment. So I plug people into EEG, I put electrodes on their scalp, and I measure brain activity. I record your neural signal while you're performing some behavioral tasks.
Now, are you looking for anomalies or looking for defects in the human?
No, actually, I'm experimenting. Actually, I think my lab found a very, very brand new thing, something that have never been published or spoken about yet. It's
All
a
right.
brand new discovery.
So when somebody does a certain activity, you're able to tell what part of the brain fires.
Yes, and that's what we're doing in my lab. Every time you perform any sort of an activity, even when you close your eyes, your brain activity changes to alpha waves immediately after you close your eyes. So we measure your brain waves, and we try to decide what is it, from where does it come, from which part of the brain, and what does it represent from your behavior and physiology. And in my lab in particular, we do auditory experiments, and we try to measure time sense, human time sense.
So if you were to marry my son and you guys came over for Thanksgiving, you wouldn't be sitting there trying to figure out what the hell's the matter with me.
No. However, I study psychology as well.
See, I
so,
don't want that. I don't want that in my. You can still marry the boy, but you just can't come over for Thanksgiving. I don't need that.
Okay, then. I'll remain.
It's
for
weird enough when
Thanksgiving.
my daughter comes over. She's always trying to figure out what's wrong with me. I don't need an actual trained mind in the.
But I'm far from being a therapist, and I don't want to, I do study psychology, but I'm not a therapist. I'm not here to listen to your problems or try to help you. I just want to get into your brain. I'm a researcher.
All right.
You're also interested in philosophy
Yes, my second major.
and ethics. And,
Yes,
to
correct.
Brag about your ethics.
Yes, my
stuff.
second major, philosophy, and that major really changed my life. As much as I do feel as a scientist at core, I think philosophy has really made a difference in my life. And I really do have to mention one person. I do have to.
You have to.
Dr. Myers, Dr. Christopher Myers from Cal State Bakersfield. He's the director of Kegley Institute of Ethics, which I also work for. I do public relations for them. This person changed my life, and he's the one who introduced me to ethics. And actually today, I'm starting my internship in applied philosophy, and it's bioethics with Dr. Myers in Kern County hospitals. I think ethics is what really matters in life, not law, which is a man-made construct of society. Ethics is really what we ought to be doing as humans and for the humans. And I think we often forget about this. you know?
So your shirt. Tell us
Yes,
about
my
your
shirt. It's a Team Philosopheraptors. And this year, Ethics Bowl competition, which I took part in. I was on the team, the philosophy team from Cal State Bakersfield. We won, of course.
Of
Of
course.
course we did.
And were you the big wheel on the team?
I hope so. Yeah, I
Yeah,
looked
yeah.
good.
But I mean, were you the cleanup hitter? Were you the one that they all turned to, like, okay, Magda, we
All
need
of the science part, of course, I have been doing. All of the problems involving science, research on stem cells, embryos, euthanasia, abortion, all of those topics are very, very close to my heart. First and foremost, because of the situation in Poland. We don't have this in Poland. We have birth control, abortion, euthanasia, all of this is illegal. So it's a huge problem because people still need those procedures. And people still have to be helped, just not in a legal way. So those subjects are specifically close to my heart.
How are you at drinking tequila?
What do you mean?
My wife has a trivia team. I think you would fit right. I think they could really do with a little boost in the science department when they go out for trivia night.
And tequila is involved.
Yeah, it's a part of it. So if you could take a couple of shots of tequila and still keep your wits about you, I think that might be a pretty good start. She works for a medical group. You know what I'm saying?
I'm on it.
That's what I'm talking about.
Although vodka is more in your tradition.
Yes, vodka, absolutely, absolutely. And it angers me when people grant Russians with inventions of vodka. And I don't know if you guys know
It was invented in Poland?
that Poland, yes, Poland
had
came
no
up with
idea.
vodka. Yes.
You know, you're dissing Poland, and yet you come and you talk about the great schools, and you talk about the vodka. You know, there's a couple things.
without the backdrop of freedom, it kind of doesn't. It doesn't add up to a lot.
There's
Yeah,
that. There's
yeah.
that.
We have good food. We have good alcohol. We have good girls.
Yeah.
Right. We have all that here too, plus the
Yeah.
freedom thing,
Yeah.
which
so
is pretty great.
pretty great, pretty amazing.
What kind of Polish food should we? Bigos?
Yeah, bigos. Here
Yeah.
you go. Sauerkraut. All of the spectrum of sauerkraut. We do everything.
There's
and
a
anything
spectrum
with
of sauerkraut. It's pickled
Yes.
cabbage, for God's
No,
sake.
it's not. And it's a spectrum of pickles as well, actually.
Wow.
Many different pickles, many different sauerkraut or cabbage, sour cabbage, mushrooms. We have like 20, 30 kinds of mushrooms. Amazing, big part of Polish cuisine. Pierogi. Have you guys haven't heard about pierogi?
I didn't know that was Polish, though.
That's Polish. What about sausage? Polish sausage, kiełbasa.
Of course
Wow.
we've heard
Of
of Polish
course.
sausage.
Oh my
Come
gosh.
on.
So that's all.
Are you telling me the Polish invented sausage?
that too.
That may be
We
a,
came
that
up
may
with
be a
some
bit of
good
an
stuff.
overstretch. Magda, I'm so glad you came on the show. It
So
was great to
happy.
meet you. I'm going to run your story past everybody I know. We got to find you. We're going to
Thank
find.
you
We
so
got to
much.
find you a job. There's got to be
appreciate it.
somebody somewhere that can sit down at their computer and just go like this, and then you're going to be a citizen. There has to be that person. So, K-Mac, if you're listening, let's do the right thing here. Let's get this done. And if you've got a company and you want to hire somebody who's, really, really smart, Magda probably be a pretty good hire for you, no matter what you do. She'll figure it out in a hurry, I think.
Say your last name again.
Bogacz.
Bogacz. Okay. All right.
Bogacz.
Bogacz.
All right, it's fine. Join us on tomorrow. But we need to find her a job, and we need to get. How are the people at Cal State? Are your professors? Are they not? They must be aware of
actually-
your story.
Oh yeah, Dr. Myers. You know, he came up with the position for the Kigley Institute of Ethics. I'm his personal assistant, and I do public relations. I work around events that we're having. That's all because of Dr. Myers. Only.
He's your greatest fan.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, is he? Well, I hope. I
After
truly,
listening
truly,
to this,
truly
I'm
hope.
his greatest fan. He's a good guy anyway.
So people know and people hope for the best, and they have me in their thoughts, but still some action is needed.
Yeah, we need to change the system to the point where it actually works in favor of people trying to do the right thing and do this legally as a people that have every benefit given to them when they do it illegally.
Yes.
So-
I want to stress that. Yes for legal immigrants.
Yes. Let's get to work on that, shall we? Join us tomorrow. We got another gigantic broadcast. Tomorrow will be the Tuesday edition, which means, oh boy, that means Richard Bean will be here. We need to run her story past Bean. He knows some people who know some people.
Can you come back tomorrow and talk to Richard Bean?
I can actually.
We better ask him first, I guess. Huh?
Thanks to Chris Wilson and the folks from the Padre who came over today. That was very, very cool. Don't forget, June 6th is that particular event. A good time will be had by all. Tomorrow, we'll get you updated on the latest from this horrible situation unfolding in Nepal. Seems to get worse by the minute. But tomorrow, we'll onward and upward. Thanks for joining us. Stay tuned for the Money Wise guys. Get tired, pull over. You get hungry, eat something. You stay classy, Bakersfield.